see if anybody hops on here. See if anybody hops on. Nice post game here from the Yankees. Good solid game. Butt kicking. I'm going to give it a minute. I just posted the notification that was going to go live, so let's hang out for 1 second here. Let's see who we got. We have a pretty solid, let's see, Marconi. Who's Marconi, by the way? Hey, guys, what's going on? TYC Ben, what's going on, man? Brian Marconi. Okay. So, Yankees win 14-2, beat the crap out of the Phillies. And what's good thing about it is, the regulars who were played well. The non-regulars also played well. And the Yankees clearly have a lot of guys in the farm who can hit. So, I'll go into it. I mean, first off, Clark Schmidt started 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 runs, and 3 strikeouts. Had about 45 pitches overall. 32 of them were strikes. So, that's good. Hey, Brewfair, Connecticut, what's happening? What is good, everybody? Sam, Ken, Steven's here, Aiden. Welcome, everybody. I keep these little post-game recaps nice, short, and sweet, just so that we can see who who does well, and then what you guys are in tune with what's going on. I'll be doing post games into the season as well. So, who pitched? Aiden. So it was Clark Schmidt first off. I'll give you the rundown. 3 innings pitched, and then Lucas Licky came in and threw a clean inning. 1 inning pitch, 1 strikeout. Wandy Peralta came in and threw a clean inning. 1 inning pitch, 2 strikeouts. Clay Holmes, another clean inning. Chad Green came in, threw 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, so relatively clean. Johnny Lasagna, another 1 inning pitched, 2 hits, and a clean inning for the most part. And then Brian Marconi, who I'd never heard of before, but he came in and closed the game out in the 9th inning. So Aaron Nola started for the Phillies. 4 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. Aaron Barrett in 1 inning pitch, 2 hits, 1 run. Andrew Bellotti, 1 inning pitch, 2 hit, 1 run. And Michael Kelly, 1 innings pitch, 1 run. And then the floodgates just opened. They just started pounding their relievers. And offensively, Marwin Gonzalez is definitely putting himself in a position to make this team. Another big day. He had a 3-run home run, put the Yankees up 3-2. At that point, before that, Clark Schmidt gave up an RBI single to Stubbs, and then an RBI fielder's choice with an RBI to Hall to make it 2-0, and then Marwin put them up 3-2. Kyle Higashioka, another opposite field home run. I think it's his 4th home run this spring. 2-run shot to put him up 5-2, and then the floodgates just opened after that. Marwin again, an RBI single to put them up 6-2. And then David Freitas, bases loaded walk to put him up 7-2. And then Big Daddy Max Burt, who I've never heard of, but he came in to take over for Josh Donaldson, hit a grand slam in the 8th inning to put them up 11-2. And then Aldana Sanchez with an RBI double, scoring Volpe, who's still around. He hasn't been reassigned yet. So Volpe walked in and was driven in by a double. And then Patrick Cowles, a 2-run home run to put them up 14-2. And that's where it ended. So big day for Marwin Gonzalez. Brewfair, Connecticut, thank you so much for the donor. I appreciate that. Appreciate anybody's generosity who sends out donors and super chats. I thank you for that. But that's the summary of the game. And again, it must be, the Matt Blake effect right now it seems to be working on Clark Schmidt and Davy Garcia. They're looking better. They're looking, better command and their velocity. Schmidt's around 96, 97 now. Garcia's 95, 96. That's almost 5 miles an hour as fast as he was last year. So it looks like he's doing a pretty good job. And Dylan Lawson seems to be doing a really good job with Marwin Gonzalez. And, a lot of these guys are adopting their much more disciplined hitting style. And I think that's, a good thing, because I think he was from a disciplined hitting style over in Houston, Marwin. So with a lot of good hitters there. So I think he's going to bring some of that energy over here, and his versatility is going to play really well. His ability to play multiple positions, and I think he's going to make it. I think Ender Inciarte is going to make it too for the bench, and probably Ben Rortvedt when he's back, the other catcher, because they need a backup catcher on the roster on the bench, and then it's either going to be DJ or Gleyber Torres. I mean, one's playing, the other one's sitting, and blah blah blah. So it's probably the way I see it. So, but I do think Marwin Gonzalez is definitely going to win a spot. He looks really, really good. Ronald Guzman, I think he got a hit today. He played yesterday. He had a big day yesterday. Guzman. The Yankees' next move, I think, is probably going to be still trying to bring in a pitcher. They still need another starting pitcher. I'm very happy with the way Matt Blake is working with some of these kids and potentially having a resurrection of like Davey and Schmidt, but I'm not banking on that because they both have have had issues in the past. So, particularly Schmidt with the injuries. So Marlon plays multiple positions, Jared. So he can't play first. He can play all the infield spots. So his versatility is really, really good. And he can play some outfield too. So that would be the super duper utility guy, which is good. And like Ender Inciarte plays multiple outfield spots. So two guys with that type of versatility, both with playoff experience, I think that's going to be really, really good for the Yankees. I mean, they're talking about a cafe trades, but yeah, I guess it takes a little while. I think my guess is he's probably waiting for the price to come down on the A's pitchers right now because they're still asking for the moon. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. So Girardi will be tossed from the Phillies for his failing record. I don't necessarily say failing record, but I think they have a better team this year. This is probably the best Phillies team that he's had. So if he doesn't do well with the Phillies, I could see them moving on from him after this year. But he does a good job and he takes a few years. He took a few years to start doing well with the Yankees too. And but I think he'll be fine. But if they move on from him, he'll get picked up somewhere else. He's a good manager. Looking like they're not gonna make any more moves. I know I'm being pessimistic. No, it's you have a right to feel that way, Ken. Absolutely, man. They were stagnant for a long time, and would I be surprised if they didn't? No. But would I be surprised if they did? No. So I do think another starting pitcher for depth would be helpful at this point. So, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, they feel good about what they have right now. So, and their offense is definitely better, and they're much better than it was before. A lot of negativity going towards the Yankees from fans saying they're going to have a really bad season. I disagree with this. Yeah, I have so many people saying it's going to be a fourth place team, and I don't know if some person's just spreading some propaganda and everybody's just filtering the same response across the board around chatter. I don't know what it is, but the Yankees are better than they were before. So are the Blue Jays, yeah. The Red Sox are not. Tampa Bay is probably around the same. So anything can happen. Toronto could flunk and finish last place. The Yankees could win the division. And anything happens. It depends on consistency and whether they stay healthy and all these other things. So there's a lot of factors in there. But I don't buy the fourth place Yankees are going to have a terrible season thing. I don't. Sandy Alcantara would be lovely, Aiden. I don't know if they will, though. I mean, our Marlins just signed him to a big extension. So, Did I see the Jeff Passan breaking news? No, let's see. Jeff Passan. Let's see. What did he break? Chris Archer, the Minnesota Twins. That one, I put a video on that yesterday. What news are you referring to, Matt? Let me go to his actual. Now, is this real Jeff Passan or fake Jeff Passan? There's a guy posing as Jeff Passan too, so make sure it's the right one. No news on Judge yet. We're just waiting for that contract extension, Michael. The offer, and as soon as the offer comes out and I know what it is, I'll be putting a video out on it immediately. So, but it's got to one of these days. They're definitely working on it right now. They're negotiating. So the kids are looking good. They are. So, and again, on paper means absolutely nothing. Exactly, Sean. On paper, I mean, on paper does not win you a World Series. The offseason does not win you a World Series. So on paper, if on paper can't stay healthy, then on paper isn't going to do much. So it's health and consistency and everything. Jared, I don't think we're a fourth place team. But, you're entitled to that, man. And I get your, frustration and pessimism. I totally get it. I'm an internal optimist, unfortunately. So sometimes that bites me in the ass. But 94 wins, I would not. Yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised with 94 wins. I don't know about the Red Sox being better. I'm not sure, Jimmy. They're not far. That's the problem with the AL East. It's a very tightly squeezed division, with the exception of the Baltimore Orioles right now. They can go any way, any one of those four teams. So Marwin Gonzalez definitely got a roster spot, I think. So I would agree with you, Michael. Oakland wants to keep their pitchers. Yeah, I mean, you might be right. To see if a team, could get desperate and pounce and pay even more. So I wouldn't be surprised, Matt, at all. Yankees are talking. I heard they're talking with the Cubs. I know they asked for the price of Wilson Contreras, so that might happen. We'll see. Wilson Contreras and a Kyle Hendricks would be a nice trade. Tony, Southport Link, thank you so much from the UK. Welcome. My wife and I have been to the UK several times. I really like the UK. I love it. Well, welcome, Tony. I hear you, Jared, man. I totally hear you. It's, again, there's so much stuff out there. It's easy to be pessimistic. It's easy to be optimistic. So the Yankees were not as active in the big market, obviously. I know a lot of people expect them to make big splashes every year, but it doesn't always happen with the Yankees. So, and it doesn't mean just because the Yankees have money that people want to take their money either. So not everybody's made for this place. New York will eat you alive if you don't play well or if you don't behave well. No. Yeah, Sale is out with a fractured rib, so he'll be out for a little while. And they also traded away Hunter Renfroe, one of their big bats, to the Brewers. So I don't know if the Phils are going to sign Conforto, Michael, even with the trade to the White Sox today. I mean, it's possible, but I don't know if he has a spot out there. Where would he play is the question. I mean, I could see him going to a place like the Rockies or the Cubs or something like that and adding to one of those lineups. But if he went to the Phillies, I wouldn't be surprised. You know, Dave Dombrowski is one of the most bold GMs out there. He's not afraid to make big moves. So, again, they want to win. They have a lot of talent on that roster. Boston start. Yeah, I mean, they lost Eduardo Rodriguez too to the Tigers, so they're down a couple guys. Franchise in the house, baby. You're the man, dude. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you, man. How do I feel about Boone mixing in line? Yeah, I mean, right now he's testing to see if anything works and whatnot. See, what might work, what might not work. So I'm not surprised. They do this a lot in spring training. Yeah, Toronto traded one of their top sluggers for Raymond Tapia. I mean, I guess they wanted another lefty, or Tapia. Wanted another lefty in that lineup, and Tapia gives them that. So, but we'll see. We'll see. But I'm glad Grichuk is not over here facing us on a regular basis. So I'm with you there, Ralph. 100%. Twins might sign that. Yeah, I mean, the Twins could do it. They're signing everybody else. So, I mean, I don't see Conforto going to Boston personally, but I mean, I could be wrong. Shelby Miller. I mean, I think they're going to store him for AAA depth, and if they need him, he could be a long relief guy, a swingman. If someone like Severino or Nestor Cortez actually make the rotation, then he can add a swingman like that. So, but he's got to stay healthy. So, Voit, I don't think they would have been able to get more for him. They got a top 10 prospect from a top 10 team, so that's probably representative of what they were going to get because his not ability to stay healthy. So, and again, we'll see if he stays healthy in the regular season. So, but he's a big arm, this kid that they got. So, appreciate you too, franchise man. You're a legend, dude. Blake admitted Severino was not 100% in the opening series. So don't be surprised if Cashman trades. I wouldn't be surprised at all. They need another starter. They always lose like 3 or 4 starters every year to some type of injury for some type of period of time, and they never have enough depth. So I would definitely, going after somebody like a Kyle Hendricks if I could, if I were them. Oswald Peraza will make it. Would I be surprised? No. He's got what it takes, that's for sure. He's an elite defender too, but I don't know how much he would play. I mean, at this point, the extra roster spots I think should go to pitchers, those 2 spots. So personally, to let the starting rotation keep stretching their pitches out, but we'll see what happens. Perez, I think Perez will make it to the team this year, no doubt about it. Yankees opening day. Garrett Cole's pitching opening day for the Red Sox. I have no idea. I don't know. Yeah. Sale's not going to be doing it because he's hurt. So we trade for a pitcher. I mean, I'm thinking they're still trying to talk to the Oakland A's for one of those 2 pitchers or somebody like a Kyle Hendricks from the Cubs who's probably gettable. Those are the 3 guys that probably the most gettable guys I would imagine. So if we trade for a pitcher, trade Judge. Oh, here we go, Jinian. I mean, if Judge turns down the extension offer, then I trade him, yes. Oh, Cole versus Eovaldi. That's right, Nate Eovaldi is still there. If Judge turns down the extension, I could see him being traded to one of those West Coast teams, the Mariners or the Dodgers or the Padres or the Giants. No. Marwin, I hope he makes the team. He's got something that the Yankees don't have right now. So Max McDowell, yeah, he's good too. Schmidt, my guess is he probably profiles as a long relief guy too. I'm with you there too, Sean. If we trade for Judge, it has to be for an all-star who can argue be number 1 like that. Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, it would be a haul back, Shamir. There's no doubt about that. I mean, they'll get a haul back for Aaron Judge. Somebody will pay. So, kind of Falefa, I think, I'm telling you, I still think kind of Falefa is the ideal leadoff hitter for this team with the roster that they have right now, with DJ batting second. So, LaCastro makes the team as a backup center fielder and designated pinch runner. He's better than Gardy, but so is Ender Inciarte. And I think Inciarte at this point is probably a little bit further ahead of LaCastro, but both of them could make it. It depends on what they do with those 4 roster spots. Essentially going to be 9 position players, right? And then 15 pitchers instead of 13 with the 2 extra roster spots, taking them 24. And then they have 4 roster spots. So, I and they can go either way. Enzo, yeah, I appreciate that, man. I don't know what their deal was today, man. They were coming at me. A couple people coming at me. I don't understand the condescending tone. And then they couldn't explain what they were talking about. So whoever was writing it, I don't know who it was, but whatever, man. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions, Enzo. It's all good. Yeah, I would pass on Trevor Bauer too. Marwin looks good, man. He looks good. I hope he stays that way and just continues to just play consistently, good contact with a little bit of power, and plays good defense. He's been really good with the glove this year. So yeah, I don't think Gardy at this point will come back to the Yankees. And Jared, I'm with you. I hope DJ bounces back too. He needs it, and it'll be a good thing for the lineup. One of the best contact hitters on this team. So Judge did say that, but that's also a way to drive the price up too. But I hope he genuinely feels that way, because a lot of fans do. A lot of fans do. And again, they have to come strong with the offer immediately. Can't put lowball the guy. Then it just puts him at a disadvantage. So Gardner, my guess is he retires too. Marwin Gonzalez could be valuable. Yes, he could, Ron. He could be quite valuable. Yeah, Judge and Stanton looking good. I mean, so is he. McGallow's looking solid. Donaldson's looking solid, even though he struggled today. It doesn't matter. These guys have rough games too, but Liberatore is looking solid. So the lineups, I think they're going to be fine. No idea why people say slow, big power guys have to lead out just because Shamir, I don't get that either. Exactly. I mean, that's why, again, they're slow and they hit a single. The chances of them scoring is much lower than having somebody like kind of Falefa up there. So, but, I know they want to maximize the amount of at-bats, but again, I think kind of Falefa first, then Gallo, and then you have all these guys. And then Gallo could be in the bottom third. It's a balanced, to me, a balanced lineup in my opinion. But again, I can see people want Judge to lead off. People want these other guys to lead off. Whatever. NCR, they could definitely make the team. And I think Guzman's going to stick around at least in AAA as in case of an injury or whatever. And for keep in mind, if they go to Toronto and let's just say a couple of guys are not vaccinated, they could send down Rizzo if he's not vaccinated and then call up Guzman. They could do that. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do, but having that type of depth, and I don't know if Rizzo's still unvaccinated, but that could be a case because there's a ban over there in Toronto, and they're going to need all horses on deck when they go there, all the bats to fight with those bats, which are super duper lethal. Correa hit a home run today. I think his first home run in spring. So would I, Jared. I'd rather see Gardy retire too than go to another team. 100%. Yeah, by the way, hit those likes button if you don't mind, guys and gals. I want to get that up. I want to try to get to 100 if we can. We're at 85 and 40 likes. I appreciate it. Yeah, kind of Fluff is a good pickup, Matt. And again, we want players like that, right? Who want to be a Yankee, who appreciate being here, who are going to play their hearts out. We need guys like that. Yeah. And again, not trying to hit the home run all day. It's just, I understand people wanting to put the big bats on top to maximize the number of bats, but our big guys also have trouble staying healthy, right? So, putting them Maz is in the house. What's up, baby? You put those big guys at first, and you're going to have them run the bases a lot. It's going to increase the chances of injury if they don't hit home runs. So something to keep in mind, right? And that's why it's kind of a different perspective I take too. I try to be as logical as I can when I'm building a lineup, but I get everybody has their different views too, so they're entitled to them. Marwin can play the outfield, yes, sir. Yes, he can. And which makes a guy like Hicks benchable too if he's not playing well. And having this type of depth, I think we'll have a better bench this year than we've had in the last several years, which I think will come in handy. Experience and contact hitting and playoff, tested guys, yes. Mazza, ass kicking, 14-2, baby. Lineups this spring just look more comfortable. They do, exactly, Ruby. I mean, Robbie, they do. More comfortable, more well-rounded, and just more experienced, and just smoother hitting. And I mean, Dylan Lawson, I think he's doing a good job so far with the hitters. So, and Matt Blake is turning some guys around too. So I got to give these these coaches some credit where it's due. I think it's important. So I think Gallo was rough. Yeah. 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 Marwin could be a secret weapon for this team. He really could be. And again, I have a feeling Hicks will be injured at some point too, which will make Marwin that much more valuable, and Inciarte that much more valuable. Yeah, me too, Michael. I wanted Cashman to get Marwin like when they signed Cole and that and some other years before that. He was great. I would rather have 27-year-old Marwin over 33, but whatever. I'll take it if he's still performing. I don't think so, Keith. He did nothing. No, he made a trade. They got better in defense. They got better in they cut down on the strikeouts. They got better in on-base percentage and more patient bats, more disciplined lineup, more defense behind the plate, which is going to help the pitching staff and the bullpen. Just because they don't make the big flashy moves doesn't mean they didn't do anything. So I know what you're saying, Keith, but I don't I don't think they did nothing. They're not going to always make the big moves anyway. Rotate TJ. Yeah, I do. I think he'll probably platoon with Glaber at second. If Glaber's playing second, I mean, and then DJ will play super utility and whatnot. So they have the depth at least. It's a good problem to have right now in the infield. So and yeah, and Higgy might. I mean, if you look at Higgy's stats, go back to the minors. The more he plays, the better he hits. So don't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he plays 100 games this year, and with Rortvedt playing the other 60. And giving good defense and just a much better, well-rounded. This would be a more locked-in team to a more focused team with a disciplined approach. So the offense is going to be a hell of a lot more balanced than it has been this last couple of years. So Donovan, I'm with you there, man. If they can trade Hicks, yes. And Hicks is apparently going on a nephew tour too. He wants to do 30-30 this year, and I hope that he does if he stays. You just got to stay healthy. Kyle Hendricks. I mean. I would like Frankie Montez. I would like. I mean, either one of those would be a good addition to the Yankees. And that's a legit number 2, Miza. That's right. Switchito has a great arm. Time for $10 million a year. I mean, yeah, exactly. If Hicks stayed healthy and he could play, he'd be a steal for teams. But right now, it's just not. He can't stay healthy. So I hope he stays healthy. Higgy's not going to first. Why would he go to first base when they have Anthony Rizzo? He's not going. Who told you that? Zach Gallen's hurt. He has a shoulder problem in his pitching arm, Sam. And he's not going to go to first base when they have other guys. I mean, guys like Guzman, Higashioka's going. They've already said he's going to platoon with Rortvedt at catcher. Yeah, we hear that a lot. Yankees being an older team, Ben, but they did get younger also. I mean, in a lot of areas too. So they got better. Like they upgraded. Last year, our starting first baseman was Jay Bruce. Now we have Rizzo. Our shortstop last year was Gleyber Torres. Nightmare. Now we have kind of Falefa. So we got older at third base, sure, but he's an upgrade over Gio was. So, Oh, look at this Griminator. Severino scratched tomorrow because of General said this is another reason why I say we need to get a Yankee, another starter for the Yankee rotation. A lot of folks want to just throw him to the wolves to be a number 2 starter. I don't think it's a good idea. It's not. Is Austin Wells going to be transitioning? That's what I'm hearing. But like some people in the Yankees are saying they want to keep him at catcher. Some people are saying he's profiling more, and some people it's like half split down the organization. Some want him at first or groom him to play first. Some want him to stay catcher. But as long as he's got to keep the mustache. Him and Nestor, they got to keep the mustache because that's brings a whole nother flavor to the team. His mustache is legit. It's serious. Yeah, the team is a better team. They didn't make the sexy moves, but they got better. Older Higgy can be and that's in a couple years maybe, but once Rizzo's gone. But at that point, they might have Austin Wells. They might have someone else. So I don't know. But not right now. Just trade somebody for somebody. Yeah, I hear you, man. Yeah, a number 2 starter's got to be the next move, in my opinion. So yeah, exactly, Sean. Higgy's going to take most of the reps behind the plate, and then Rortvedt will get the rest of the games. Probably a 2/3, 1/3 ratio, I'm guessing. So, and that's totally fine. They've already said Stanton's going to play at least 2 to 3 days a week in the outfield. Jinyan. So, yeah. Yeah, I agree, franchise. They're going to have to settle for something at the deadline, like another Andrew Heaney. Get this number 2 now. Get him now. So, Montez, Pablo Lopez would be fabulous. Get a Kyle Hendricks. He's got 2 more years and an option for 2024. I mean, he's under control for 3 years at a reasonable price. So, that's somebody to get. And the Yankees have over $100 million coming off the books the next 3 years. So they're going to get under the thresholds again by default. So if they can move Gleyber Torres for a stud, like you move Gleyber Torres for a guy like Pablo Lopez. Yep. No. Yeah, if Judge gets moved, then Stanton will be obviously playing more time in the outfield. But they have other dudes too that'll help. I mean, Gallo's still out there. They have Marwin out there. They have other dudes and coming up through the system too. So that might get another opportunity. Yeah, exactly, Michael. All the prospects don't pan out, 100%. I did hear it, Sean. Mo's a legend, man. Mo's a god. Mo's a god, dude. He's rebuilding his value, Darryl. But yeah, it did sink a lot. Gleyber Torres. I'm with you there. He'd have to be packaged with other guys for a pitcher or something like that. Good trade scenario, probably to the Cubs for Kyle Hendricks. They can move Torres there. They can move in some other prospects for a guy like Hendricks. Montez is going to cost even more than that. Manaea will cost not as much. Manaea probably cost one piece less than Hendricks because he's got 1 year left. Montez has 2, but he's a stud. So, that's kind of, to me, the best scenario right now. The most affordable, get the most back would be with the Cubs. Yeah, I mean, you move Gleyber if you can. If he's playing well, I mean, they have DJ locked up for 4 more years after this, so I get it. Chapman's viable option too to be traded. So a team like the Dodgers can use him. Padres can use a front end like a beastly reliever and take that payroll relief. Even if you get a prospect or 2 back, you get $18 million in payroll relief. But yeah, I see Chapman staying here too, Michael, unless he struggles mightily. But if he struggles mightily, he's going to kill his own market anyway. So he's his last year here anyway. Peralta, yeah, probably is expensive, Sam. Yep. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. I like to keep these short and sweet. I don't want to keep you guys too long, but I appreciate you coming. The Yankees won 14-2. Again, Clark Schmidt looks solid. The bats are off the charts. Marwin Gonzalez looks like he's going to make the team. And, yeah, he's a core of the Brewers. Exactly. I don't know if the Brewers are still trying to build something special there. So, but again, thank you all for coming on. Thank you for the super chat earlier as well. I appreciate you. And Chad Green and Move Sevi. You could. I think Sevi would be better as a swingman anyway right now. He's not ready for a starting rotation spot. Not 180 innings. Hell no, I wouldn't do it. And, yeah, Loizaga, definitely incarnation of rookie Mo. So, but have a great day, guys. I'm going to do my predictions video tomorrow of who is actually going to be my 4 picks to be the Yankees bench. I did my predictions for Aaron Judge's contract. That's in the description. If you haven't seen that, I put that out earlier today. You guys let me know what you think. Talk to you guys next time. Peace.